Well, good evening. Welcome back out to the shop. This is episode part number 4 for the Enterprise build-up, the NX01 series. I have finally gotten the nacelles together, or at least one of this is the port nacelle, and I've got it all glued together, got all of the lights and everything put in it. It turned out real well. Got my hole cut here for the where the feed the wires down into the pylon. So once I get the once I get all the putty and whatnot sanded off, I can put my pylon on and then mount it to the I guess the back assembly area to where, and then what I'll do is I'll lay them upside down, where once that whole both nacelles are together, I can get them, make sure they're nice and straight. But we'll putty this off. I puttied it, and I'm going to sand it a little bit later, and then touch it up and go from there. And I have tested these out, and they're doing very well. So I'll move this out of the way, and what I'm going to show you now is on the starboard nacelle. I've got it all wired up and ready to go. And let me zoom in, kind of show you what I'm talking about. All right, you can see here I've got the two light boards, the one that has that glowing effect, and you can see here that on both of them are pretty much wired the same, that go into terminal number 14 on the bottom of the board, which is right here. And then you have your blacks that go to your blue LED light strips, and then you have 4 wires that Ralph talks about. Well, actually, there's black, white, gray, purple, and blue. And the blue goes to the positive side of the terminal, up on the up to the on-off switch, and then you have your purple that goes to terminal number 12. Then you have your gray, which goes to terminal number 11, and then your white goes to terminal number 10. And then for your navigational light on the back, on this one it goes to terminal number 3, because it's LED 4. So we've got all that mapped out and got all of it, and I tested it out, and I'll show you here if I can get you into shot here. Let me zoom in to see if I can get you a little bit better here on the back side without it losing its focus, and I don't know if it's going to focus or not on me. Let me back out just a little bit. Maybe I'm gonna have to go just a little bit further. There we go. Now it'll focus. But you can see right here is the nav, the green nav, and my blue LED light strip. I've gotten all this wired in. I'll just kind of show you how to, here's your constant on both top and bottom, and then once that happened, I've wired both of them together, or both negatives together on one without having to use hardly any wire, and then I tied both of the positives together, and since this is going to be a constant on, I was able to save some wire and go right into my LED light strip. So that worked out, and then this red wire here is going to the positive terminal of the nav light, and then there's a black wire right there, if you can see it, that comes off the the negative terminal of this one and branches out and goes all the way back to the negative terminal here. So that's how and I just mounted that right inside there on top of this strip right here, and got my what I did with my Bassard collectors, the domes, is what I did is I scuffed it up with paint, sandpaper, or 220 sandpaper, and then I sprayed the interior with the transparent red, and then I went over it with a dull coat, the Tester's dull coat, and it turned out real nice. So what I'm going to do now is I've got this all hooked up and wired up, and I'll take you through. Let me back you out and turn it on and show you what we have. So here we go. Now, y'all know as much as I do about the fact that the lights on the camera are going to overexpose the lenses, you know, the LEDs on on here, and so they're not nowhere near as bright in person as they are on the camera. So let me zoom in a little bit and see if it'll focus on me here a little bit. But you can see the real nice glowing effect on the Bussard collector. That turned out real well. I'm very pleased with it, and you know, it's rotating the way it's supposed to. And then I'll flip it over here and show you the brightness of it. It turned out real nice, and I'm very pleased with it. And you can see them. See if I can't zoom in a little bit and get you onto the. There you have. Let me put that light out so you can see the green navigational light there on the back of the nacelle, and then you have your constant ons on the top and bottom. So it turned out real well. We're getting close to closing. I'll close this up tonight and put some putty on it and go from there. So it's coming along. Just want to say, you know, Ralph did a really good job on this lighting kit. It's a phenomenal lighting kit. It's very straightforward to wire, so it's pretty easy. And oops, sorry. Let me grab some parts here. Alright, let me turn this off. So we know that that's working good now. Now once you get there's a piece that goes on the bottom. Let me unwrap this for a minute. And there's a piece that goes on the bottom. I'll hold it up to the light right here. You can see that piece that comes in and makes it level, and the pylon will sit right there. So this will be hidden. You won't see anything from that. But so what I've still got to do on that one, that's the port side nacelle, and this is the port pylon. What I still got to do is drill my holes, etch out the area right here for the wiring to go through, and then just a little bit down here on the bottom side to where I can pass the wires through and without having, you know, any problem. And there's quite a bit of room in here. If you remember me talking about the Enterprise E on Sarah's, there's no room, but it's all flat, and so you had to trench out, do some trench work all the way through. Well, this one, all you have to do basically is you have to trench out a little bit here at the top and a little bit here at the bottom, and you really don't have to do anything to the other piece. And then that'll just snap together, and then once it goes on, here's the top side of the this little back calf, and this is the port and starboard side. Well, this is the port piece, so let me kind of mock it up here for you and show you how it's going to go. It's going to go together pretty well, so you can see it's gonna fit together real nice. And once I get the nacelles put on and the wires run down through, I've still got, before I close all this up, I've still got to run some lights through. I may run a 3mm blue LED right here for the top and the bottom top and the bottom side, and then one right there for that blue piece, and then there's a strobe that goes or a nav light that goes on right there at the back. So there, and then I've still got to wire in the one at the bottom side, and once that happens, I'll put the nacelles on and brace it up underneath. That way it stays nice and level, and that way we won't have any drooping or whatnot of the nacelle. So, but that's it for the night, folks. I'm not going to do too much out here tonight. Hopefully, I know y'all probably been wondering. Sarah's mailed off Sarah's Enterprise E on last Monday, and it should be there tonight. And I'm kind of waiting on her to tell me if it got there in one piece or not. But hopefully, by the time you see this video, the next day or two, it'll all be there. You know, the model will be there, and hopefully in good condition. And then we should have the nacelles buttoned up on part 5, and then I'll go through and start laying in my sidewalls for the bottom half, and then start putting in a lot of the other stuff. We still have some pieces that go in here for the phase cannons and the torpedoes. So it's coming along, and we'll keep you up to date, and we'll see you around for next episode, which will be part 5. So until then, take care and stay tuned, and we'll see you around the bend. Thank you much.